Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Children's Chapel today. Today we're going to wander around Miss Susie's backyard and look at some different things because Jesus, in today's lesson, told his followers a parable, and the parable was about growing things. Remember how Jesus always tells people, tries to tell people stories that they already know a little bit about so they can understand better what he's talking about? Well, that is exactly the case today. So let's open in prayer. Dear Lord, help us today to use our eyes and ears to hear the words that you want to tell us and to understand them in our hearts. Amen. All right. So today I'm going to show you guys some things while I read the story, okay? Okay. So you guys, while you listen, can pay attention to the different types of things that are growing. This is Matthew chapter 13, verses 1 to 9 and 18 to 23. Jesus went out of the house and sat beside the sea. Such great crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there while the whole crowd stood on the beach. And he told them many things in parables, saying, "Listen, a sower went out to sow." That's like a farmer went out to plant seeds. And as he sowed or planted seeds, some fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. And some fell on rocky ground. Here's some rocky ground that Miss Susie has, right? Some fell on rocky ground where they did not have much soil, and they sprang up quickly since they had no depth of soil. So the grasses in this case, or the plants, they could spring up. They grew in between the rocks, but there wasn't a lot of soil for them to grow. And so guess what happened to them? When the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Let anyone with ears listen. So with Jesus, how many of you all have gardens? Let me ask you that. How many of you all have gardens? Some of you do have gardens. I know William and Owen have a garden because remember they found those bunnies in their garden? And before you garden, you have to prep the soil. You have to turn it over and you have to make it nice and loose, and you might put some fertilizer in it so that when you plant your plants, they have room to grow. And Jesus was telling this story about putting down roots like a plant. And he was talking about how the plant, when it grows, has to put roots down deep into the soil. And if it puts roots down deep into the soil, even when it gets too sunny and hot, the plants will not die. The plants will continue to grow. And that is just like us and our lives as Christians. When we put down strong roots into, I told you we were going to walk around Miss Susie's backyard. When we put it down strong roots, even when hard times come and we have worries, we can grow big plants. Look at these plants. Now, Miss Susie did not plant these plants. They are taller than Miss Susie, just about. Look. Well, let's see if I can. I'm having trouble here because I can't make it turn around. But look, can you see Miss Susie? They're taller than Miss Susie. I don't know if you can see Miss Susie or not. But these plants are so tall, and they were built, or they were not built. Miss Susie's silly. They were planted by the people who lived in this house before us. And because they prepared the soil, when the plants grow, they can grow tall and strong. And even if there's too much rain, or even if there's not enough rain, or there's too much sun, they can grow strong. And too much rain or not enough rain, too much sun or not enough sun sometimes, is a parable or a way to show us in a story about problems that we might have in our life. And so Jesus wants us to prepare our soil so that we can grow strong in our love for Christ and our love of God. And how can we do that? Because sometimes that's hard. But some ways we can do that is through prayer. When we can go to church, we can do it through praying at church and worshiping with others. We can do it by surrounding ourselves with our friends from church and other Christians who will help us to grow and love God. And we can do it by loving other people who love God, right? And we can do it by loving other people who don't always love God yet, right? But when we do things like worship and pray and read the Bible and talk to our friends about God and Jesus and hear what they have to say about God and Jesus, and they can encourage us and we can encourage them, we can build strong roots and they can help us grow. And that's why it's important to be in a community of people who love the Lord and love God, because it will help us to grow nice, strong roots. Okay, so that when hard times come, we can love and support each other and continue to grow in knowledge and love of Christ. And to remember that backpack from last week, right? How Jesus helps us carry our troubles, right? So that we can be a backpack for other people, and that we can, when we need help, other people will help us carry our burdens. And of course, Jesus will help us carry our burdens and give us peace in our souls, right? Okay, well, that's a short chapel for today. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you soon, I hope. Love you guys. Bye.